Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I want to talk about some of the worst distractions I've ever seen on the road, and actually, it's kind of funny how I get to witness a lot of these distractions. Usually, I start by seeing somebody driving badly on the road, right? Almost hitting somebody, tailgating, running off of their lane, or sometimes it looks like a close call right on the road. And then I peek inside of the car and I notice what's going on, right? Most common one, and that's why I started this campaign with that one, is the eating while driving. And it's very terrifying to watch. To the person eating, they don't feel it. You gotta understand, 80% of us probably have an addiction to food to begin with, and to them, eating just makes them feel a sense of temporary normalcy, right? Otherwise, they're in a withdrawal state, right? And they get to their food, and then they're all over the road, right? And inside the car, they're spilling food. They're looking on their lap to wipe down a spill, and most people eat in a pretty disgusting way anyway, even when they're not driving. I cannot wait until we come up with a clean way to eat. Even I myself, I really despise messy food. You know, when I go to my favorite, so we have a Whole Foods with a cafeteria, and years ago I used to make a mess eating it because I would get there and I just couldn't wait to get away from all the so-called problems in my life. 4 years ago, I was really despondent because I had met a girl and I was hoping to make a close friend, a best friend forever, but she wanted romance. And I was upset at basically God, you know, finally making the right friend, but she wanted romance, and so I was just depressed out of my mind. And often, to get away from all of that, I would stuff my face. This was 4 years ago. And I asked God, or I wanted to ask God, why He needed to create this trickiness for me. And then something happened that required the two of us to be 6 feet apart from each other, obviously. And then I discovered that it's okay to not have a best friend forever, right? Just go out there and network with people all the time, right? I mean, after the stuff that required us to be 6 feet apart passes, obviously, right? That was a good experience for me. But so a lot of people they eat to escape problems in their life, and then they don't realize they're creating these traffic problems. So eating is a big one. Sometimes some people not only text on the phone, they get themselves so involved on the phone. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people weave in and out of traffic. And then I look at them, and they're not just texting on the phone. They're getting themselves involved with something on the phone. I don't know what. One day I saw somebody a little bit younger than me, and he was all excited, punching something into the phone. And I knew it wasn't just a simple text to somebody. It was something super involved, like he was playing a game of some sort. And then I realized that here in the Phoenix area, I've heard many people talk about being professional poker players. I thought for sure he might be gambling on the phone while driving. Now think about that. I can't imagine it being a good idea for either of those activities, right? He's being distracted while driving, and if he's hoping to make money gambling, he's probably being distracted by that too. Every few moments, somebody almost kills you on the road. You almost kill somebody on the road. Can you imagine trying to go to Las Vegas where somebody has a gun to your head behind you, right? I can't imagine that being a good winning strategy, right? Even if he has to take a break from the gambling to drive, or vice versa, right? He could have done better on both fronts, right? I hear so many people tell me that they have to eat behind the wheel because they don't have time, and then I look at how much of our culture wastes time, right? You can't go somewhere without seeing somebody wasting time on something these days, right? Even at work, right? How much time is wasted? I think the average American during an 8-hour workday really only works like 3 hours. I think I've read statistics somewhere like that, which is probably not unusual, right? So take some of that time to do all the stuff that you wanted to do while driving, right? Eat, text, whatever, right? Get high, whatever, right? Do it during those 5 hours that you waste at work anyway, and then focus on the driving, right? I'd much rather people do that, right? As much as I really despise distractions in my classroom, I teach at a community college. As much as I despise that, I'd much rather see that than see it on the road. I've gotten into, I'm going to have to stop doing this because I'm going to get in trouble with the school sooner or later. But one of my favorite things to do is, you guys may remember that I love to make a lot of these videos in the parking lot at Phoenix College. Sometimes I sit there working on my games or something like that, and then I'll see a car pull in, and somebody pulls in drinking while driving or texting while driving or whatever, and then I get out of the car and I talk to these people about it, especially if they are students. If it's a professor, if it's somebody who's older than me, I don't have the guts to do that. But especially a student, you got an 18, 19, 20-year-old who doesn't know any better. I've seen all sorts of activities, by the way. I saw a couple who were kissing in the car while driving. The guy was driving, and they were kissing in the car. And I got out of the car to congratulate them on their love life, but I said, can we please do this outside the car? I want you guys to live a long life. I want you guys to go to heaven together, but not today. And the guy got really defensive at me. The girl had to pull him away from trying to assault me. And I thought for sure I had gotten fired from Phoenix College when that happened. But I need to stop. Sooner or later, I'm going to get myself fired for doing this. I'm just too passionate about it. Yesterday, I saw somebody driving with earbuds plugged in. To give you an idea of how tightly his earbuds were plugged in and how engrossed he was in his music, I tried to honk at him and he didn't even hear me. I had to wave at him and flash my lights and finally got his attention. He pulled them out, and then I motioned to him, and he apologized. Sorry about that. And again, I said, there's plenty of time when we get to heaven to listen to your favorite music. Let's try not to go there today, please. He apologized. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought for sure I was going to get involved in road rage. When I get involved in road rage from pointing out these things, I like to think I'm taking one for the team. Because, there have been times when people told me about my eating disorder, about things I'm not doing right, about mistakes I'm making at work. I got defensive at people, but you know what? Years later, I took those lessons in. I can't tell you how many times people used to comment on my, when I was 15 years old, I used to drink a lot of soda. I used to drink 4 liters of soda. People would comment at that. I would get defensive at people, angry at people, lash out at people, assault people over that. And guess what? Today I haven't drank soda in this year, marked 20 years since I quit drinking soda. And so I don't think it's a total loss. When I talk to these, especially younger people, I don't have the nerve to tell a 60-year-old professor about his eating while driving. If he makes it to 60, I can't really do that. But I see an 18-year-old kissing his girlfriend while in front of the wheel while driving, swerving all around the parking garage, right? And I like to think I'm doing him a favor. Even if he gets defensive today, sooner or later he's going to realize his lesson. I mean, he probably just got his license not that long ago. Sooner or later he's going to learn his lesson. He's not going to destroy his car, and he's going to take the money saved from not destroying his car to buy that wedding ring, right? I like to think I'm doing him a favor. And yes, he got angry at me one time. I'm taking one for the team, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.